like me, you've probably seen statistics, news articles, or even celebrities bringing awareness to the world water crisis.
Water is the most essential element of life.
780 million people, that's twice the population of the United States, lack access to clean water. 2.5 billion people lack access to a toilet or basic sanitation.
Last year I did a video where I took on the Water Walk Challenge, where I basically completed a 2-mile hike in the wilderness to obtain 5 gallons of water. This was to simulate the same walk that millions of women in Africa do every single day, multiple times a day, to get water for their families. The next question I have is, what is it like for these women when they return home?
My name is Pauline Egan. I am the US Program Manager for Face Africa and have worked a lot in different parts of sub-Saharan Africa, helping educate people in preventing disease when they do get access to clean water. They're having to transport that 5 gallons back home, ration that water to make it last for an entire day.
To put this into perspective, this is what 5 gallons looks like. This is the average amount of water a person in a rural community in sub-Saharan Africa uses on a daily basis. And this is the average amount of water a person in America uses every day.
From the minute we wake up, we don't even think about the fact that we have, all we have to do is just open our taps and there's water flowing. My name is Saran Kaba Jones. I'm the founder and CEO of Face Africa. Face Africa is a nonprofit that has been operating in Liberia for the last 10 years. We work to provide sustainable access to clean water and sanitation programs. I was born in Africa. Back home, when I'm in the field, I see firsthand what women and girls have to go through every day. So it really puts things in perspective. Michelle, I challenge you to live off of 1 bucket of water a day to see how difficult and challenging it actually is. Good luck.
I gift this to you.
Okay.
This is going to be your best friend.
All right.
Take good care of that bucket of water because that is your survival for the next 24 hours.
Oops. Good morning. Here's your bucket.
Oh my God, no. This is gonna spill everywhere. So a big part of today is going to be making sure that I don't contaminate this bucket of everything.
If you're using some kind of smaller container to scoop that water out with, you need to make sure that that container is not contaminated.
Wetting my toothbrush is probably the lowest priority out of everything I do today. However, I'm also trying to stick to my normal routine as much as I can. Washing my face. Maybe I'll use a cloth rather than like splashing my face with water. There have been like 7 times already where I've just almost instinctively reached for the sink. I didn't think that I needed water to do my makeup. I thought that this was going to be a simple part of this challenge. And then I remember you gotta wet the sponge. I guess I'm gonna have to just accept that I might lose a lot of water because of this stupid step of my routine.
There's a lot of things in our day-to-day life that we really don't realize that we're wasting water on until we actually have to be conscious of it. If we have a shower, it's 5 gallons a minute. Even just teeth brushing, we can use up to 2 gallons. Dishwashers use 16 gallons per cycle. Washing our clothes, 25 gallons per load. Flushing the toilet alone uses about 1.5 gallons. So all of these things add up really quickly.
So with just my morning routine, I think I used almost a liter of water. Oh my God, it's so heavy. Okay, I'm gonna make my breakfast now. I usually have some eggs and oatmeal. For the eggs, I actually don't need water for that, so yay there.
Nope, can't use the sink.
God damn it. I just instinctively went to the sink and turned it on to wash this dish. I think I need to sacrifice some of my water now. For the oatmeal, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to boil some water.
They also have to boil some of that water so that it's drinkable to kill some of the diseases that are in that water. And what happens when you boil water is it evaporates. So that also reduces the amount of water they have when they do boil it.
You'll go to a river and you'll see a person over there with their cow, and then another person over here will have their laundry and dirty diapers in that river in the same water that another person is collecting their drinking water from. and it is just a recipe for disease.
I've just been sitting here watching my very precious water evaporate for about 7 minutes, and it's still not even boiling yet. You know what else I just realized? I'm also gonna need to boil my drinking water for the whole day.
So then we also have a red bucket. Now, the red bucket is going to be a bucket specifically for you to use for water that you've boiled, so that you can differentiate between the water that's potentially unclean and the water that's definitely potable for drinking.
All this water going literally down the drain. I'm honestly sitting here contemplating whether or not I should wash the dishes, but I know that if I leave dirty dishes out, that'll probably over time cause mold or even bugs and flies.
That is something that happens a lot because there isn't enough water for people to have the luxury of keeping their kitchens clean. Flies are traveling from one nasty place to the plates, and then if they're not washing those plates and they're reusing them to eat off, that is a whole nother cycle of disease on top of drinking disease-ridden water.
You f***ed up again.
Oh my God. Okay, this is gonna go over here. This is going over here.
I think we have to lose some water for that.
Fine. Okay, where was I? I have a couple hours of work before I go to my workout today, and usually I drink a ton of water throughout the day, but I'm gonna try and be a bit more conscious of drinking less, although I am concerned about going into a workout dehydrated, so going to try and manage all of that. So I just went to the restroom, so now I need to pour out an entire gallon of water to represent how much water I used for my clean sanitation.
On those long walks, there's no luxury of a bathroom to stop at, and the priority is getting that water as quickly as possible and getting everything you need done. The lack of going to the bathroom can cause a lot of complications as far as bladder infections and things like that, which is another thing that a lot of the women specifically suffer from.
I'm not sure the best way to prevent these from spilling. I'll just seatbelt them in?
Buckle up.
I feel like we have two little kids in the back seat. Look at that. Got some spillage there on that last hard stop.
There's something to be said about the level of privilege we have in America to be able to go to the gym and work out for fun rather than out of necessity by hiking all the way to get water for our families and not have to worry about those things. So we're walking to the car and it's raining, which means the water in this bucket is not drinkable anymore because I don't know what's in the rainwater. So now I have to put it back in the blue bucket and reboil. So I just got home from the gym. I am going to try as best as I can, cleaning my body and shaving and doing the things I normally do. I mean, even though I'm giving myself a sponge bath here, I have the privilege of having clean towels and soap. I would love to wash my hair, but I don't even know how to accomplish that without wasting a bunch of water. And I still need to get through the rest of my day drinking and cooking my meal for tonight.
For women in general, when you think about taking a shower or a bath and feeling beautiful and feeling clean, a lot of times they have to make the choice between making sure their families have access to clean water and their families have water to drink and to cook with, rather than even taking care of their own body. But imagine having to decide, should I use this water to wash off my makeup and protect my skin, or use it for brushing my teeth in the morning?
Having to choose between washing your hair and eating a good meal is something that I've never had to make a choice between. And I didn't even really truly think of it as a privilege in that way until now. I feel like today has been a bit more than, let's see how much water I can survive off of in a day. It's making me acutely aware of the technology and products that are available to me every single day. There are 3 faucets in this room and a toilet. That's crazy. I didn't realize, like, even just rinsing out this sink, I would just turn on the faucet and rinse it out real quick. But now I have to think critically of, like, does it really matter if all the crumbs from the sink are out? Throughout the day, I decided to not drink water as much as I usually do in order to help save water. I was literally in the bathroom thinking, should I wash my hands? Is it really worth it? And so there were things I just needed to do, knowing that they were more sanitary to do.
A lot of girls miss weeks of school because the schools are not outfitted with, enough water facilities or sanitation facilities. And that means, weeks and weeks of being absent from school. And of course that affects their education and their future.
When our life is centered around such poor quality water, we end up in this cycle of disease and the inability to get education and earn income. You end up in this trap of merely surviving.
It's honestly kind of amazing how water is connected to everything. I'm also just thinking about the privilege of having a grocery store, being able to just go somewhere and pick out all the things I want to eat, instead of having to grow everything, which also requires water. I felt like there was no time to do anything except my basic needs, because in order to drink water, I had to wait for it to boil. In order to cook a meal, I had to wash all of the dishes after. And thinking about doing that after doing the 2-mile hike just to obtain the water, it was really exhausting. This is all I have left. And while at first I was like, oh man, I made it to the end of the day, I have a little bit to drink, I remembered, oh no, I have to brush my teeth, wash my face, probably drink way more water than what's in here, probably go to the bathroom again. This is not gonna cover a flush. The reality is that many women in Africa spend 6 hours a day fetching water and the rest of the day rationing the water. What I did today barely scratched the surface of that, but definitely gave me immense perspective on how no one can survive off of 5 gallons a day. Today, I am really excited to announce that, similar to last year, we will be raising money for Face Africa to make as big of a dent as we can in the global water crisis. Our goal last year was 4,000, we raised 40,000. This year, I'd like to make our goal 10,000, and hopefully we'll get more than that too. 100% of your contribution goes straight to water and sanitation projects to help women and young girls overcome these obstacles. And even if you aren't able to donate, please share this video. Sharing the video allows more people to see it and hopefully more people to become aware of this crisis. Also, be sure to follow Face Africa so you can see the effect of your donation in real time, in real life. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye.